and for a few seconds and then place them over your eyes and slowly open your eyes with a beautiful smile, and you can move the palms from your eyes. So friends, I hope you could reach a deep meditative stage. Let's look into what is real contentment. Chapter number 10 of this book, Happiness Here and Everywhere. It's a very, very small emotion which we have been told from our childhood to be content with what you have. It's a very small emotion, but it's a very, very powerful emotion. And can you imagine 2005 years ago, 500 years ago, a person called Buddha said, to want nothing is to have everything. Blavatsky says, he who does not care for heaven but is contented where he is already in heaven. And an unknown author says, contentment is not the fulfillment of what you want, it is the realization of how much you already have. So I think that quotes or inspiring thoughts set the tone for this chapter. Let me jump into the story. It is said that monkey hunters in India have a foolproof way of capturing monkeys. They hollow out a hole in a coconut and put the candies inside. The hole is large enough for a monkey to squeeze his empty hands into, but not large enough to pull out a fistful of candies. So the monkey can put his hands inside the hole, but once he grabs the candies inside and he has made a fist, he cannot pull his fist out. So that is the size of the hole. The coconut is then staked into the ground. It is only a matter of time before a monkey comes along and discovers the coconut. He reaches inside to get his reward, only to discover that his fistful of candies he is stuck. He now has two alternatives. He can either hang on to the candies and get caught, or he can let go and be free. Guess what do the monkeys choose? Amazingly, they choose to hang on to the candies and be captured. Even though the monkeys never get to eat the candies, they refuse to let go. As a result, they surrender their very life. The illusion of how good it would taste ultimately creates their death. That's it. It is time to rationalize your desires. So that is more important. By understanding the important difference in the kind of desires you are pursuing, you will be better able to fathom what real contentment is and why it has probably eluded you till now. True contentment is just a thought away. All you need is to change directions. You need not sit back sagging in your chair to feel content. Real contented people are as driven by their desires as anybody else, only that their desires are in their control. The unhappy people, however, are the ones who are trying to search in a dark room for a black cat which is not there. Remember, your desire is your own creation. Never allow your creation to become your owner. So true. You and only you can direct your desires to experience a life of continuous bliss. And Swami Vivekananda is saying, there is no misery where there is no want. Desire, want is the father of all misery. So then the author is explaining about, positive and negative desires, but basically positive desires are which what you want to do for the others. Those desires are generally positive. and what you are really wanting for yourself comes under negative desires. And negative desires cause unhappiness. And then he says, are you really contented? If you observe closely, you will find that people with negative desires often act contented. So that's the reality. In reality, however, there are many more desires, but they repress them in the name of showing to the world and that they don't need them or simply just to hide their failure in achieving them. These are the people who are very disturbed and frustrated inside. This form of contentment is pseudo and can never bring happiness to anybody. Real contentment comes when wanting stops and giving starts. That's when one can make a switch over from pursuing positive desires instead of negative desires. Then, even though the outer world is continuously changing, the inner world is fulfilled. It is a humble, undisturbed dependence and trust upon life, regardless of what may come our way. It is an attitude which cannot be swayed by fortune or misfortune. It is a form of ready acceptance of all. And real contentment comes when you develop a new set of eyes to appreciate the blessings you already enjoy. When you look at life freshly, it arises out of bliss. It is a genuine feeling of thankfulness for all that you already have. And then the author is giving a very nice, you know, method to how to, be content or form this positive emotion of contentment. So he's saying, practice being grateful. There is no discontentment anywhere in nature except in the mind of a discontented man. Do you ever think a small rose bush is discontented just because by its side stands a tall cedar tree reaching to the stars? It is simply enjoying itself in blooming and sharing its fragrance with all around it. From now onwards, start focusing on what you have been given instead of what you lack. Thank God for the job you do have, for the marriage you do have, for the vehicle. So he's listing out some big things that you have in life, but I would say just be thankful to every little thing that you have. Just thank, for example, the chair where you're sitting, the room which you have. Thank for the little, just form this habit of saying thanks. Gratitude has the power to change your perspective towards life. By habitually giving thanks, you will break away from the cycle of discontentment. Once you awaken to what all you have already been given, you will automatically feel rich for being showered with so many blessings that you will dance and sing and want to share because you have so much to share. You will then step into the giving mode of life. And the day you know you have given to the world more than you have taken from it, that will be day you will experience real contentment. Remember, real contentment is something we learn, not something we achieve. So don't try to overcome your desires. Simply try to change them. And then there is a nice poem by an unknown author. Just be glad. Just be glad. Leave all to God. He knows what is best for you. So just be glad along the way, though skies be gray or blue. Just be glad He loves you so. That's all you need to know. Through trial and prosperity, be glad and tell Him so. Be glad and tell Him so. Action plan. So, number one, just for a moment, think that you are simply a nobody. The moment you do that, you will start feeling pure and clean. You will suddenly need no more, for what does a nobody need anyway? Only from this state of cleanliness will you have the power to understand and grow towards your natural, unique purpose, which you have come to fulfill in this life. So be humble. Number two, stop doing everything and just sit back and contemplate on which type of desires are you pursuing, positive or negative. Then make a conscious choice to focus on your positive desires only. Once you've decided to give more than take from the world, don't wait any longer. Immediately start doing something useful, big or small, for anybody simply to contribute in enhancing goodness in this world. You will then experience the magic of genuine contentment. Try it now. And I will finish with the joke here. When a visitor to a madhouse saw a man running around, beating his head, crying and screaming, Lucy, Lucy, Lucy. So I hope there is no Lucy here. Yeah. He asked the superintendent, what happened to this man? The superintendent said, he was in love with a woman called Lucy. He went mad because he could not get her. Then they went to another room where there was a man beating his head against the wall, screaming, Lucy, Lucy, Lucy. The visitor again asked, what happened to this man? The superintendent replied, this is the man who got the woman Lucy. Since he got the woman, he has gone mad. So that's it about this chapter. Happiness, you know, another tool in how to find happiness. And I hope you enjoyed the meditation and the session today. If you have to share something, please unmute yourself and go ahead. Share, give to the group what you can.
Hi Nagendra, this is Mridula.
Hi, Mudula ji.
So I really like the story of your monkey and the the candies in the ground, and how the monkeys will not let go and they'd rather be captured. It reminded me of what Jesus said. I don't know why, because he said it's easier for the camel to go through the eye of the needle than for the rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. So in the olden days, Jerusalem, the camels, because it's in the desert, they had to go through a gateway. So they had to unload the camels to go through that narrow passage. Otherwise, they can't go. So for us, for human beings, we forget that no matter how much we make, we have to unload, including our own bodies, before we can make it to join the divine, right?
Absolutely.
So I loved your thing today. And every day is a gift, actually. We think that we want more, we want this. Long time ago, I used to, when you were younger, we just want to accumulate things. I'm guilty too of the same. So as I was getting older, I realized after I got it, the value is already lessened. It decreases, depreciates. So what I used to do is then go get something that I absolutely love and save it in my closet for 2-3 days, and then realize now once I have it, I don't really need it. So anyway, your beautiful talk today reminded me of all these things. Every day we wake up is actually a gift. We're given these senses. We're on this beautiful planet. And the other day, some friends in Gujarat, I didn't even know there's salt beaches, beautiful salt beaches, beautiful beaches in India itself. I mean, everywhere there are beautiful, beautiful places. We can just get up and go if we want to. And we can taste good food. We can see good things. These are all gifts every day we have. That's the gift of being here, actually. We somehow think that we must have this thing, that thing, but nothing is, we have to unload before we leave here. So, yeah. So
Thank
thank you.
thank you very much, Mudula ji, and especially that camel story, how you had to unload their, whatever they're carrying before they can pass through that gate. So, and the gate is right exact of that size that they cannot pass with what they have. So it's so true. Uh, Thank you very much. Really appreciate your this addition. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate I listen most of the evenings, but it's late for me here where I'm living in the US. But
Okay.
today I'm wide awake and your story was so, it touched my heart today. So I thought I'll share. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Ramji, good you raised your hand, otherwise I was about to sing and bored. If people don't share, I'll start singing, so you better.
No, then we
No,
will.
no,
I will
I'm
wait to hear your song.
just joking.
Uh, so it's such a beautiful session again. You know how this book shares the wisdom of a happy life, a fulfilled life, taking each aspect and then presenting in such a beautiful way. You know, it is really boiling down to ask some basic questions like here we speak about desires, and before that we have to ask a question, what I want, and then add a little bit spice to it, or rather some more to it, and ask again what I really want. So we have to ask the same question the second time, but with a different addition to it. From what I want, the first, and the second, what I really want. And I'm sure every time we seek something, when we ask the first question, completely changes when we ask the second question. And it is not about living in scarcity, but rather growing into experiencing the abundance that is always there. And things change. Things change when we ask our own self the right questions. It is the universal principle which says, ask and it is given. And that is why we have to ask to our own self right questions. And we have to ask our own selves what we truly want, what we really want. And it is quite funny when when we speak about real contentment, it is not, it is as if that we are seeking for something we have never experienced. Yet the truth is that we have experienced it. As kids, we all have experienced it. We all have had it always, the real contentment. So very beautifully you have shared, and yeah, this is something we have to walk back into our childhood, into our infant stage, and really understand that we were there, and we really had nothing but we were there. And so we can easily go back there when we really want that contentment. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ramji. Yeah, very, very rightly said about this, what we want and what we really want. I remember, after a couple of weeks away from Heidelberg, uh, or maybe even more longer period, I came back after holidays or some travel, and then I saw there was nothing in my flat. Yeah, my fridge was empty, and I came like the evening, late around 9, 10 o'clock in the night, and so I said, "What to do now?" And I did not eat. It was a long journey or something, and I said, "Oh, should I go out?" Fine, and everything is closed in Heidelberg, you know that. So I said, "What to do now?" I was thinking maybe I should look for a McDonald's, maybe they are open in the night. And then I thought, okay, tomorrow in the office, lunch, there will be lunch in the canteen. I can buy some lunch there. And because then I try to remember I did, sometimes I did a 36-hour fast just to, see what it feels like. And because I heard so things about it. So I just remembered that, and then I felt, oh, it's this time it's only 24 hours without food. So I felt, I didn't feel any more hungry. So it's just a small incidence on how you feel about it. It's just your mind, your thoughts. And as you said, the feeling of abundance, you have a lot of things, you don't lack anything, not inside you, not outside you. So that's how I look at it. And thank you, Pooja ji and Jaswinder ji, for your messages. Yeah, any more sharings, friends? If not, we can close the call and see you next time. Thank you. Bye. Have a nice day, nice evening, wherever you are. Thank you for joining today. Bye.